hello internet. We are test fitting our radiator for the FL5. Now, a couple things we would go with. First, we'd like to show you that, as we all know, the stock one's usually plastic and very thin. Ours is fully welded, a direct bolt-on. This is the sample one. And everything should match up exactly where it needs to be. So, there's a couple things you have to take off, as usual. You take off the rubber isolators from the bottom, transferred over. When you take the sensor, unplug it, plug it in here, take an Allen key, but for right now, I'm gonna go ahead and lean this up so you can now see the difference on the sides. So, as you can see, this is a factory one. The bottom part might be thick, but the actual fins is very tiny. Ours is much thicker and thicker overall. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and grab, look, it stays, a measuring. Okay, so as you can clearly see, the factory one's plastic that's crimped on. This is fully wadded on, it's not gonna break. And if we measure it, the stock one, the fin's thickness is a little bit under, well, actually a little bit over 1 inch, like 1.25, a little bit over 1.25. Now when we look at ours, it is almost 2 inches. So it gives you a lot more surface area and a lot more fins to keep your car cool. So now that that's established, let's go ahead and put it in and test fit it. But first, we have to take off one last thing off the stock one, which is the sensor. So I'm gonna go ahead and take an Allen key. No, I actually don't have to take an Allen key. It just comes right off. So take a 17 millimeter. This also could be for the install. Just hold on to it. Thank you. Break it loose. And shit just come like that. Make sure the O-ring stays on. So don't break this. All you want to do is just put it in here. Bolts right up to it. And you want to tighten this, but don't over tighten. Just get it snug. A little bit past hand tighten. And you're good to go. Bolt them on. But for now, we're gonna go ahead and, since we're continuing test fitting, before we go ahead and go too further, fan goes in like that. So it should line up perfectly fine. If I could put the fan on and then stick the radiator inside first, rather than radiator first and then fan. All right, cool. So now we're gonna test and see if I can shove this thing in. So with that out the way, we're gonna just go ahead and try to see if this can fit with the fan on. No, it's not gonna fit. Well, that didn't work out the way I wanted to. So careful not to scratch the AC condenser.
All right, so what's going on now?
Right now, I'm just making sure that the bottom fits. This looks like it just goes right here, so it's pretty good. So right now, to fully make sure that it fits perfectly fine, we're just gonna install it. And we're gonna go ahead and put the AC condenser on. So this is the part you gotta be very careful, but it's okay if you tilt it, the radiator up a little bit. So just so you can pick up the AC condenser very carefully. And stick one bolt through, like so. Keep in mind, all you really have to do is just try to get one side in. Once you get one side started, then you can get started on the other side. Okay. And AC condenser fits, which are these two. So this is all from OEM. All you do is just lean it back a little bit, put it here, put it back here. Push it towards where it is the mountain. Keep in mind, be very careful and be mindful because your AC condenser is not fully bolted on. 10 millimeter. So just make sure everything's clear and nothing's hitting, nothing touching, which everything is cleared. And we're gonna go ahead and tighten the AC condenser, which is going to be difficult because it just needs to catch. This will take a while, so before we move on to the bottom, just want to double check making sure everything fits properly, which everything does. We're not plugging anything yet. We're gonna go downstairs. We're gonna go down, finish bolting in the AC condenser, and then put the fan, and that should be concluding the test fit that everything fits. It's gonna be really hard to see, but basically this screw goes to the same place as the up one. So just okay, welcome to day 2. So fans here. So one thing you have to know that with the new radiator, its space is now very tight. So when you put it in, it actually contacts the shield and this, obviously, and that. So to make things easier for you, I'm gonna go ahead and take this holder for the air intake off, which is easy. It's just 3 bolts, 1 bolt here. I don't know if you can see that. 1 bolt that holds the ECU, and then 2 bolts underneath. I'm just gonna take this plate off. That should give me enough space for the fan to go in. Okay. These are all 10s. See? That out, and there you go. That should be enough space for you to fit the fan shroud. So this faces upward. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and take bolts and put the top 2 in. This will require going up and down a few times. So, put the fan here. We're going to go ahead and put that bracket back in just to mock it up, make sure everything, and that fell off. That will fit, which will be down there. Move that out the way for now. And then we're gonna go ahead and put this back on, just to make sure that everything fits where it's supposed to be. Get out. And ta-da! Those all fit. So now we're gonna put the air box on top. Then we're gonna bring the car back up again to make sure the bottom everything clears. And then we're gonna say, test fit, success. Yeah, everything fits. This is done off camera, but I put the hose, OEM hose back here. So I just button up the bolts down here. Obviously the bolts up there need to be buttoned down, but as you can clearly see, everything fits perfectly fine. Everything's where it needs to be. The holes are plugged in. I just have to tighten these. Same with the other one up there is just tighten everything back down, plug everything back in. There is no clearance, as you can see from underneath here. There is plenty of space. Here, here, and of course here. While the fan is closer, there's still more than enough space in between. So we're gonna go ahead and call it success. So this is probably one of the best upgrades you could do for cooling. It is a bit intensive because you have to drain everything, but a good shop will be able to do it in no time. And in addition to that, you can also go for the simplest mod, which is our vented splash shield, which you saw earlier, and the video will be one of these sides, that side, to see development, testing, and installation. So we will go from simple to semi-difficult. That's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.